itsmintsalad and I saw the Twilight Zone episode 1. It is written by ASERiley, directed by Robert Steven, and it's called Where Is Everybody? Where is everybody? Real quick before I get into the review, if this review gets 1K views, I will do more Twilight Zone episode reviews. First of all, I gotta say that I was lied to in the past when someone said that another episode of the Twilight Zone was the very first episode of the Twilight Zone. No, this is the first episode of the Twilight Zone. That episode in question is the one where we have a guy who's like really interested in libraries and reading and such, and he gets into a safe, and then an end of the world happens, but he drops his glasses, so he's unable to read. That episode I will also cover in the future, as well as other Twilight Zone episodes that I've previously seen, but this is the first one. If you want to watch the Twilight Zone, this is the one where you should start with. This episode starts with following a guy, and he's alone in a town. He's trying to figure out where everybody could possibly be. What's really weird is that it seems like stuff is just left there. It seems like people were literally there like 5 minutes ago, and we got warm coffee pots. We got them smoky things, them cigars. I don't like cigars, so I don't know what they're called. I don't know anything specific about cigars, but we got a bunch of cigars just being lit. Why are they lit? Where is everybody? This guy just keeps on going around this really empty town. I'm very concerned. We got payphones be calling. We got a bunch of payphones over here ringing. Echo ring. And you must answer a ringing phone. Must you? He answers the ringing phone. Nobody's there. And I'm just like, this is spooky. What other spooky things will happen during this episode? I remember while I was watching this episode, I was like, okay, I gotta stare at the screen. Oh my goodness, there's too many things going on. It seems like many people were here, and now they're just all collectively taking a break. We have a bunch of shops that aren't even open. Seeing this town be super closed down and nobody here, I'm like, man, this town really must hate money. Where is everybody? And that's the entire point of this episode. This episode is very tense. I really love the camera movements. I really love the guy acting. He is nameless, by the way. I honestly wish that I knew his name at the very beginning of the movie, because, you know, I'd like to have some sort of nice little personal connection. But I guess the entire point of this episode, to me anyway, is what if this happened to me? It's kind of like a self-insert. What would you do in this situation? If you were alone in a town where supposedly people are here, there's like businesses and shops and such, what would you do? Leave a comment below. Progressively throughout the episode, he's just freaking out like, oh no, what's going on? Oh no, there's nobody here. How am I gonna deal with isolation? And I'm like, maybe you should chill just a little bit. Look at the positives of all the isolation. You can go behind the counter of this ice cream place and get yourself a sundae. Hey, ain't that just pretty nice? I really do like the tension build up in this episode, all the way to where he hits this button repeatedly. He's like, I gotta go, I gotta get out of here. And it's actually an Air Force experiment. This guy is single-handedly just super isolated, just alone, and he's been in there for like 484 hours, and it's very impressive how long he's been just chilling in this place. This is training to go on the moon? Man, that's wild. That's harsh. Makes a lot of sense. You gotta make sure this guy can withstand just being alone and isolated. I do like the line at the very end, you know, next time, you're not going to be alone. And I like that. I like that a lot, because this guy is just training to be isolated. And honestly, I wonder how long I could be isolated without freaking out like this guy did. I think I could probably do 500 hours. You know, what do you think? How long do you think you could be isolated for? Overall, this is a very great start to the Twilight Zone. Something weird and wacky is happening, and it's just his imagination. He literally imagined the town that he was in. Man, that's wild, man. I wonder if I would imagine a town if I were that isolated. Honestly, I think I would imagine like a bowling ring or a horse carousel, maybe. I don't know what I'd imagine. I don't know if I would be able to control what I'm imagining within isolation. Got any theories? Leave them below. Leave them below. What do you think of the Twilight Zone? Of course, I already know that I love the Twilight Zone from the few episodes that I've seen. I really want to see all of the Twilight Zones, so share this video with everyone you know if you want to have me review all of the Twilight Zone, just like I said at the very beginning of this review. I love the acting, I love the set pieces, oh my goodness, it's so great. This episode is definitely a mind experiment, a thought experiment, it gives me a little bit of a think. So I gotta give this episode like a solid 8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. You can fast track a movie review for $20 deals at patreon.com/ASERpresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, go to this link tree to find the way you can help support the daily grind. So, until next time, I'll see you later, my sound croutons, big bits.